Hold on to your wigs, because what just leaked from the EVITA rehearsals might go down as one of the wildest backstage dramas the theater world has ever seen. Picture this, a dimly lit rehearsal space filled with tension so thick you could cut it with a prop dagger. Suddenly, bam! Security appears from both sides, and who are they walking straight toward? None other than Rachel Zegler, the face of this high-profile production, being escorted offstage in front of the entire cast and crew. We're talking stunned silence, frozen bodies, and music screeching to a halt mid-bar. This wasn't a scene from the show. It was real, and it was ugly. Yes, leaked security camera footage allegedly caught the exact moment Rachel was removed, and theater insiders are practically choking on their lattes watching it go viral within the Broadway and West End circles. This shocking incident is being called the boiling point of weeks of tension between Zegler and the creative team. Can you even imagine? Just a few months ago, Rachel was gushing about how playing Eva Peron was the role of a lifetime. She called it transformative, life-changing, and a cultural moment. Her Instagram was filled with selfies in the rehearsal room, voice memos of her practicing high notes, and captions like channeling strength through song. But now, oh honey, that Rachel is gone. Replaced by cryptic pose, emotional quotes, and radio silence from what used to be a constant stream of updates.
Yeah, well, we're busy, of course. EVITA opens at the Palladium this summer, so we're collaborating with Jamie Lloyd again following Sunset Boulevard. Well, Rachel was desperate to play Eva Peron. You know, it was her idea.
So what actually happened? Insiders say the energy shifted hard when rehearsals started getting intense. The collaborative spark faded, the Insta posts disappeared, and behind closed doors, Rachel allegedly began describing the EVITA set as unsafe, even calling it creatively gaslighting in leaked private messages. Yep, those messages didn't stay private for long. Fan accounts picked them up, and the whispers turned into roars. Where Rachel once celebrated the creative process, she now reportedly saw it as oppressive and controlling. And behind the scenes, the producers were panicking, because apparently the real problem was not the set, not the team. It was that EVITA wasn't meant to be the Rachel Zegler show. They were all incredible. But Martin's ensemble piece and Rachel, according to sources, was not ready to share the spotlight. One insider spilled that Rachel clashed with the pace and demands of the production. She allegedly wanted more say in staging, tried to tweak choreography without approval, and was frequently late, offering excuse after excuse. And if that wasn't enough, she allegedly questioned every directorial choice. One crew member even joked, every lighting cue turned into a courtroom debate. Director Jamie Lloyd was reportedly so overwhelmed by the constant emotional roller coaster that he stopped giving Rachel notes directly. That's right, he communicated through assistants and stage managers like a game of broken telephone. In professional theater, that's practically unheard of. The director and the lead, they're supposed to be in lockstep. This was a creative divorce, and it only got worse, because this wasn't just about drama anymore. This was about lost money, delayed schedules, burned bridges. Instagram poetry can't fix that. And let's talk about her career trajectory for a second. She went from an unknown to being plucked by Steven Spielberg for West Side Story. Everyone thought she was the next big thing, an Oscar in the making. Her voice? Electric. Her presence? Powerful. Her future? Golden. But fast forward to Shazam! Fury of the Gods, it flopped. And her honesty in interviews didn't help. She basically told the world she only did it for a check. Then came Snow White, where she called the original cartoon creepy and labeled the prince as useless. Disney fans went wild, and not in a good way. EVITA was supposed to be her comeback, her homecoming, a chance to shut the haters down with live vocals and raw emotion. Instead, it became the next cautionary tale in her growing list of Hollywood missteps. Word is her team is scrambling. They're reportedly suggesting she take on smaller roles, work with veteran directors, do indie films, lay low for a while, no more press tours, no more carrying the whole production. Just prove she can collaborate again. Because here's the tea, talent alone doesn't cut it in this industry. Everyone's talented. What sets stars apart is professionalism, being someone people actually want to work with. Especially in theater, where it's live, it's intense, and there's no editing room. If the lead is unpredictable, the whole cast suffers, the crew suffers, the show suffers, and that moment in the leaked video, the moment Rachel allegedly had to be physically escorted from the rehearsal space, that wasn't just a bad day, that was a massive red flag. A red flag in bold letters, underlined, highlighted, and plastered across every casting board from New York to London. What started as minor tensions, showing up late, questioning cues, trying to fix things, snowballed into full-scale disaster. Director Jaime Lloyd stopped talking to her directly. Think about that. That's like a surgeon refusing to speak to their lead nurse mid-operation. You just don't do that. Fans are divided. Some say Rachel was standing up for herself in a system that tried to silence her. Others say she created chaos and played the victim when things didn't go her way. The truth? Probably somewhere in the messy middle. But in this industry, perception is everything. And right now, the perception is that Rachel Zegler might be too much of a risk. She's only 23. That's the silver lining here. There's still time to turn this around. But it's going to take work, real work, and humility, and probably a few years of keeping her head down and letting her work speak instead of her social posts. Because the real question isn't, is she talented? Everyone knows she is. The real question is, can she play nice with others? And let's be really clear, this isn't some bitter Twitter thread drama. This is the West End. This is live theater. This is real people, costumers, understudies, tech crew, whose careers and rent money depend on these productions running smoothly. When the lead star throws a wrench into the system, it doesn't just damage reputations, it costs people their jobs. Multiple sources claim that by the final week of rehearsals, the energy in the room was just dead. Gone were the laughter and camaraderie. Instead, everyone was walking on eggshells, waiting for the next meltdown. One insider even said it felt more like a corporate legal mediation than a creative rehearsal. Let that sink in. Even more telling, after Rachel's removal, understudies were given full stage time, with producers watching. That's basically code for we're recasting in real time, and this show will go on with or without the original star. And guess what? Whispers are already flying about who might replace her. Names are circulating, auditions are happening behind closed doors. Rachel's role is no longer a lock. That's how bad things got. Agents, publicists, and casting directors are reportedly going back through every project Rachel's been involved in, digging up missed press appearances, side-eyeing awkward interviews, replaying those viral clips where she shaded Disney's Prince. Suddenly, a pattern is emerging. And let's just say, people are connecting the dots. What was once seen as misunderstood genius or youthful rebellion is now being viewed as instability, and in this cutthroat industry, that perception can ruin everything. And while Rachel's fan base continues to defend her, calling out toxic workspaces and misogynistic industry standards, the producers aren't buying it. Not this time. Because no matter how emotionally beautiful her Instagram captions are, they don't pay back production delays. They don't rewrite scripts. They don't calm a shaken cast. One assistant director was overheard saying, "We needed an Eva Perón, but we got a PR disaster." Ouch. And the worst part? There's still so much potential in Rachel. No one denies that. Her voice, her screen presence, her raw emotion, it's all there. But even the most brilliant stars need to understand one simple truth. Collaboration is everything. In film, you can fix things in post. In theater, if you fall apart on stage, everyone falls with you. That's why industry veterans are now urging her team to take serious steps like therapy, coaching, long-term strategy building. They're saying she doesn't just need a new role, she needs a professional reboot. There's even talk of her doing an off-Broadway comeback, something quieter, more intimate, where she can rebuild without the spotlight blinding her. Or maybe taking a supporting role in a major ensemble film directed by a seasoned filmmaker who knows how to nurture talent under pressure. Because right now, the big studios, they're hesitant. The West End, on edge. Broadway, nervous, and the world watching. And let's not forget the fans, the people who loved her, defended her, reposted her performances, hyped her every move. They're divided now. Some are still fiercely loyal, while others are saying, "We wanted to root for you, but you made it so hard." And here's the real tea. This could have been her moment, playing Eva Perón, a dream role, an award-worthy opportunity. But instead, it's become a tabloid headline, a viral cautionary tale, and a sobering reminder that even the brightest stars can burn out if they're not grounded. And for the younger actors coming up, they're watching this unfold like a masterclass in what not to do. Talent will get you in the room, but professionalism, that's what keeps you there. So now we wait. We wait to see what her next move is. Will she post another poetic message about growth and healing? Or will she face the fallout head on, offer a real statement, and show the industry she's ready to truly work again? Because the truth is, Rachel Zegler still has time. She's only 23. Hollywood loves a comeback. Broadway loves a redemption arc. But you only get so many chances to rewrite the narrative. What happens next could define her legacy. Will she rise from the ashes of EVITA and reclaim her crown? Or will she let the whisperers become roars that close doors forever? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, Rachel Zegler just became the most talked about name in the theater world for all the wrong reasons. And as the curtain falls on this act of the drama, the industry watches with bated breath, waiting to see if she'll ever take center stage again.